What's up, YouTube? It's the dawn where shit gets real. And today, it's gonna get real with you guys. I got a new RTA by Youde. I can never say that shit. Youde Technology. Youde. Just call it Youde. Youde Technology. The Goliath. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Goliath. As you can see, it ain't hardly no juice in there. It goes through some juice. So without rambling and talking, we just gonna go dive right up close and get the taken apart. So let's go interrogate the Goliath. Goliath. Okay, guys, we're up close and we're gonna look at the Goliath. Okay, so of course it's not in the box. So I'm gonna show you guys the box real quick. It's the same deal as the Goblin. So you get the box, the atomizer sits in here, and then this folds out, and it gives you a little bit of information on it. And it does say it calls the e-liquid oil. It's an oil feeding adjustable, blah, 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 blah. Now it says 2.8 millimeter air intakes and a 6 millimeter air outlet. Oil capacity 4 mil. Now with my filling it up, I got a little bit more than 3 mil, just a tad more. I guess they round it up, but who cares? You're just gonna have to refill it. 3 mils is 3 mils. It comes with the spare parts and a couple grub screws. Come on, focus, focus. There we go. And it looks like the grub screws are flat, unlike the first Goblin, which were pointed and gave everybody, including me, a headache. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. I have it taken all apart, and I'm going to do a little bit of comparison to the Goblin. Okay, let's start with the airflow. Well, let's start with a pin. Okay, so on the bottom, let me take this out of autofocus. So on the bottom here, you have your serial number. It looks like mine's is 972. Yeah, 972. The pin is adjustable. It looks like to be copper. It is adjustable. Let's start with these air intakes. Okay, so here's the Goblin. I mean the Goliath, and here is the Goblin. Okay, so the Goblin's holes are a tad bigger. Okay, but it's the same deal on the bottom, but of course you had a fill hole screw. This one is kind of unique on how you fill it. So let's work your way up, and here's the air underneath your, this is the air that hits your coils holes. So let's look at those and look at the ones on the Goblin. Okay, again, the Goblin's holes are a tad bigger. Okay, so let's put the Goblin back to the side. Now, here's where it's different, and I guess it's a little better. The building deck. Okay, so as you all guys remember this damn Goblin, right? With this post right here, has 4 posts. I mean, 4-hole design. And you had to get your coils really close to this, this block right here. Well, on this one, the new one, they did away with that block. It's only a 2-post design, and you have this space in here to put your coils. I mean, if you want to build like anything bigger than a 3 mil, well, this is a 3 mil, and I had to use a little bit of that real estate that's in the middle, okay, just for it to fit in there, because again, it is a small building area. But with this little space open in here, it makes it much easier to build than this thing. Okay, now if you can see how close those coils are to that building block, with this one, with that space in the middle, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, but it's still a tight space. Just to let you know how tight it is, let me grab the chimney from the Goblin, if I can find it or anything. Oh, here's a Goblin chimney right here. Okay, so this is the Goblin's chimney, and it just fits over it. So I'm telling you guys, it's a small area. It just fits there, and it won't screw down because the chimney that goes on it, it's much taller. So let me show you that part now. So here's the chimney that screws over top of your building area. As you see, it goes just like so, and it's two pieces. This piece you can put on this way, or you can flip it around and put it on the other way. So it goes either way. Okay, so now you can see down in that building area, it's really tight. So guys, when you're building this thing, I'm not going to rebuild this thing. So when you're building this thing and you're putting your coils in, always grab this and put it over and make sure that it's not hitting this metal in any way. So go ahead and fire it, look at it, make sure it's not hitting. And if it does, you need to adjust it. But you'll know as soon as you put it right here, if it's scratching the top of this or the inside of this this piece of material. So okay, so that's where that goes. Okay, so your coils, now again, when you're building, you can't put the, unless you're building really small coils, you cannot put the coils right over top of that hole unless you're doing something like 2 millimeters, because again, you have that space right here that's blocking off. Let's see if you can see that. This space right here. So to build, you're going to have to build your coils higher off the deck and use this real estate that's in here if you're going to use a 3 millimeter coil or larger. Okay, I would say 2.5 or larger. I tried to build a 2.5 in there and I had the same problem. I had to bring them up, bring it up from here to up here, and use some of that real estate that's in the middle. But I will say, you know, with this two-post design, it was easy, you know, centering the coils. I mean, you can't not center these coils like this, all right? But just remember that your wicks are going to be longer because they have to reach down to this part here. Have to reach down to this ledge. Not all the way down here, just to this ledge right here. All right? So you got to see that. They do use peak insulators here, so you don't have to worry about burning your insulators. These are peak, which is a good deal. Alright, so let me show you this, I guess the tank portion of it, because it's a lot of pieces to it. Alright. Alright, so I showed you this. Now this piece right here screws into this, like so. That's your chimney. Okay? There's an O-ring on this, there's an O-ring in here. Okay? So that piece fits into here. Now if you'll notice that this has two flat areas. It has a flat area here, and then it's on the opposite side there. Okay? Those pieces fit into, it's a flat area here. This camera's going to pick it up. There's a flat area here, and then there's another flat area on the other side of it. Okay, so just let me show you. So if you just sit it down there, it doesn't, well, if you sit it down there like that, it doesn't fit. Okay, so you got it sticking out. You have to spin it, and then it fits down in there flush. Spin it. It fits down in there flush. Alright? So, now, let me take this out. This piece is actually two pieces too. Now you see that little design on there? When that dot, this dot is over here where the design is not, has that big heart rate, I guess whatever you want to call that thing. This is closed on this side. So to open it, you would spin it, your juice flow, you would spin it until it went on this side. Okay, so now how that works is there's a, I guess a guide pin here that fits into this groove here. Fits into that groove right in there. Now this is where your juice comes out, and you can close off your juice. So you close it off when you're taking it off. This is where you fill also. Okay? So this goes on like so. And you just spin it to open it and close it. Once it's all put together, it works really good. Okay, so that's closed. So no juice can come through those holes. So when you open it, the juice can come through those holes. Okay? If you look down in there, So that's open. So you can see some of that blue. That's open. And that's closed. See how they closed up? Alright. So again, this goes on here like so. Spin it till it falls down. Nice and flush. And then your glass goes on like so. And then your top cap. Okay? Oh, this is the wrong glass. Your glass. And then your top cap. So the reason why I got the other glasses out here is to show you something. Okay? So this is it all put together. This goes on like this, like so. You screw it together. But before I screw it together, I want to show you the different size glasses. Okay? Okay, so this is the Goliath glass. This is the 5mm extension for the Goblin. And this is the regular Goblin glass. Okay? So, the Goliath glass is in between the 3mm and the 5mm. It's in between. Right? So none of them are the same size. So I know some of you guys thinking it does not come with the extra glass. So I know some of you guys were thinking, hey, if I break the glass, can I use the other glass? No, you can't. Now, I did manage to get the 5mm glass on there by unscrewing these and having these not all the way threaded down, but I'm sure it would leak because the O-rings were not secure. So what I mean is having this like that, and then trying to put this on there, and then trying to have this catch, okay, like so. Well, it just caught that time, so it's on there, but I'm sure it would leak. But that's the 5mm glass. So what I'm thinking, what they're going to do when they try to extend this thing, they're just going to sell you a larger piece of this, because I'm sure they're going to do it. They're going to sell you a larger tube like this and a larger glass, okay? So let's get all this confusing stuff back out of the side, put it all back together the way it's supposed to be. So, once your coils are built and you're all wicked up and ready to go, you would just take this and slide it over top of and screw this on. Alright. Now, this will be closed when you do that, and to open it, you would just slide this over like that. Bam. And it's open. It'll be rocking and rolling. Alright, so I'm going to pause this and wick it up because I'm not going to wick it on camera. But I will tell you this. When you wick it, well, I'll pause this and I'll wick it and I'll show you how it looks wicked. Okay? So I'll do that. Alright, so I'm not all wicked up. Just want to show you where my wicks sit when I build mine. It sits right, there's like a ledge right here. And I build it so the wick sits right on that ledge right there. Not down in the channel, on that ledge. Okay, all four sides. So right in that ledge. So before you put it all together, always take this chimney and slide it over and test fit it. Screw it down and make sure you don't see any cotton or anything in that juice wells. Okay? So now I'm just going to go ahead and put it back together. Of course, you got to take this off. Set this to the side. It's really easy to put together. Glass. Top. Alright. Let's open it up so we can fill it. And I'm going to try to fill it up with this top here. Oh boy. just does not fit down in that hole by any means. But it's so easy to fill that it's working. The air is escaping from the other side. Okay, so I think that's enough. Alright. I mean, this top does not fit in there at all. I just had it sitting on the edge of it and just pushing it, okay? And it's full, okay? So once you get it full, oh, by the way, I got some orange cream from Cloud Compound. This shit is the bomb. They have one called Arnold Palmer, and if you're from the hood, it's like vaping the fucking hood. It's iced tea and lemonade, or if you want to call it an Arnold Palmer. But folks from the hood, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so you close it off. It's open. Close it off. And then you just put it on top. Like so. It reminds me of the K-Fun. You know how the K-Fun, it comes from the... Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. It reminds me of the K-Fun type deal. I wish I had a K-Fun down here to explain it to you. Okay, so then once it's on, I just want to open it up. So now it's open. Now it's open. Just want to make sure it's tight. Make sure my juice flow is open. And it's got all that freaking juice on it. Juice flow open. Everything's good to go now. Okay? So I will go back up top and vape it. I guess I could have put more juice in there, but you can see the bubble starting to come up. It is wicking. We'll go up top and vape on it. Alright? Alright, so I showed you guys this new Goliath. Off the bat, it's way better than the Goblin, in my opinion. It's much easier to build on, even though the deck is one of those tiny decks. It's much more forgiving without that block in the middle of this Goblin. So, would I recommend this for somebody to buy? If they don't have the Goblin, absolutely. If you waited out and didn't buy the Goblin, yeah, go buy the Goliath. It's a much better atomizer. I mean, hands down. I mean, and it's so easy to refill. Yes, it only has a 3.5 milliliter juice capacity, but to refill it, you just turn it upside down, hold the base, unscrew it. Bam. Open up your juice, fill it, close it. Your wicks are here. Put it back together, and you're good to go. I mean, it's so easy to fill. You don't need any tools at all. You don't need a syringe. As you can see, I filled it with that crazy top. I get my airflow back open. Yeah. Now, as far as the airflow, this has a tighter chimney. This has a looser chimney. So they still, I mean, it has a wider chimney. So they still equal out to about the same airflow. Me blowing on one and blowing on the other, it's really hard to tell the difference. But them both wide open. Let me take a toke. Let me take a drink. Gotta stay hydrated, people. That was my downfall when I first started vaping, man. I would be dried out. You gotta stay hydrated vaping, especially if you vape a lot and you vape a lot of VG. You gotta stay hydrated. Speaking on that, real quick, if you guys are not members of CASA, you need to become a member, and you need to be active in your community and find out what's going on in your community because there are all kind of regulations coming down on this vaping, and at least you need to be aware of what's going on. If you're not going to go out and participate, that's fine, but at least be aware. You know, if you're aware and you get those emails, you might want to jump in and start doing something. That's how I did it. I mean, I became a CASA member about, I guess, about 8 or 9 months ago. And at first I wasn't really paying attention, but as time went on and I'm hearing all these things, it made me more interested in it, and it made me think, what can I do to make a difference? So I'm working on some things. I live close to DC, so I'm working on some things. I'm not going to really say it just yet, but I'm working on some things. Just a really quick note. So if you're not a member, please go become a member. It's really easy. I'll post a link below. But enough of that, and back to this. Let me take another token. Okay, so they got all these clearamizers out here, right? All these sub-ohm clearamizers. Now, right now, this is at 0.4. They got all these sub-ohm clearamizers, and they do good for clearamizers. There's nothing like, you know, you build in a wick, or you build in a coil, and the taste you get from a rebuildable tank atomizer versus the clearamizers they have not caught up yet. They're close, but they have not caught up yet. This thing gives you a great flavor of vape. I mean, it's outstanding. It's good like the Goblin. And the Goblin, it has its hiccups. I mean, that small ass deck, it has its limitations. With this one, at least you can build a little bit bigger with that space in the middle. So I definitely recommend this one. Let me take another toad. It's a very flavorful vape. Very, 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 very flavorful. I feel like I would be getting some spit back, but since it's domed, I feel like that spit is hitting those sides of the walls before it reaches all the way up the chamber. I just feel like it. I mean, I get a couple tingles of spit back. Maybe it's my build, but I think that dome shape is stopping a lot of it. Let me take another toke. It's good. I mean, and I haven't had a dry hit yet. I mean, yet. It's been wicked fabulous. I mean, you see bubbles. It wicks perfect. I mean, perfect. I haven't had any flooding. It's a great tank. Now, let me tell you where you can get them. Well, for the longest time, they was on pre-order. Mine just showed up at my door. I ordered it pre-order and just showed up at my door a couple of days ago. But you can get them at Vape NW. I'll post a link to them below. A couple other places you can get them, and they range between 35. And the sticker on this one was surprising. I didn't pay that much, but the sticker on this one said $49.99. Wow. 50 bucks. Now I wouldn't pay 50 bucks for it. I paid 30, 35, 40 bucks for it, but not 50. But it's a very, very nice rebuildable tank atomizer. Let me take another toke. It's good. It's good. You can see it's going through that juice. It's going through it. It does suck up the juice. I guess that depends on your build and how much. Well, it's a lot of factors, but the way I got it built at 0.4, vaping at 50 watts at 4.5 volts, it's sucking up the juice. I would definitely recommend this to somebody, not to a newbie. If you guys are just getting into rebuilding, definitely don't get nothing like this. Get yourself a cake find. Work your way up. Work your way up. Don't just jump right into this unless you have somebody that can build it for you. Because I don't want you shorting it out, shorting your battery out, and getting yourself hurt. So for the advanced vapor, definitely check this out. And until the next time, I hit record, pay it forward. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Easter holiday, and thank you so much for watching.